Today our topic of discussion is abstracting. Abstracting, a wonderful new strategy that encourages higher level thinking among our students. And the beauty of the strategy is that it works well with stories and materials that sound like stories. And who doesn't like stories? We use them so profusely in classes, whether for young children or for older students. And here we are about to learn about this strategy called abstracting. Basically, it has 3 steps. We begin with the specific story and make a generalization, which usually we call the moral of the story, right? And we end there usually after a story is narrated or ended. Okay, we tell the moral or we read about the moral of the story. But what we now know is we can go one step more. This is called extending and refining knowledge. Remember, we are talking about DOL3. So we go one step more and go to another stage called finding more specifics about that generalization. So specifics to generalization, that is really an inductive process, and then we go from generalization to specifics again. That is now deductive. So how do we do that? From the moral of the story, we ask students for other examples, other specific examples that they know about, some other short story or from their own life examples, things that really match such generalization. So today, let's go through an actual story and see how a template will work. A template is always good. When you have a visual representation, it surely helps. All right, this is the part that represents the specifics, okay? Specifics, which may be the specific story, the specifics, okay? And remember, the second step is generalization. Remember, generalization, which is the moral, the lesson from the story. Remember how we end it there usually when we tell stories? No, let's go to another step now. Go to a level again, that is specifics. All right, that sounds very interesting, doesn't it? Yes, I find it very interesting all the time when I use abstracting. So this is the short story. Now, you may tell the story like this in the class, or you may even ask students to read the story. It may be a lesson, about somebody. It may be a Bible lesson. It may be a story in the history lesson. Okay, matching with the topic that you have. All right, today's story is about a young man and a couple, an old couple. We see this old couple visiting a small town in a state in the United States. It was rather late in the night as the couple came to this town. They were strangers there and they were looking for a place to stay, a hotel to book into. But one after the other, all the hotels seemed to be booked full. And so they were getting very tired now, being old and weary from travel. They just didn't know what to do. Finally, they found a very, very small motel. They wouldn't usually go maybe to such a small place, but what else to do? It didn't look so safe, but there was no other way. So they went to that small motel, and there was a young man, the receptionist, even at that late time of the day and the night. He welcomed them. And when they approached told the young man about the need for a room, the young man looked sad. Even that small motel was fully booked. But then he said, "Oh, but I have a solution for you. You know, I always attend to night duty, and the manager has given me a small room to stay, you know, just to relax, and take rest when I can or during daytime. So I think I can fix that room for you right away. I hate to see you go away without having a place. It's a small room, just a single bed, but I think that bed is enough for now, just for one night for you. Let me just go and fix the room for you." And the old couple couldn't believe their ears. This young man was really being kind, and they said yes, they are very grateful. They'll wait. And so in a few minutes, the young man came back, and he had fixed that room. He told them, "I'm so sorry, there's no TV and there's no no other facilities that usually are found in hotel rooms, but I'm sure you can somehow adjust in the small space." And so the couple thanked the young man profusely, and they went to the room to rest. And of course it was a comfortable room. The young man had kept it well, and they rested. And next morning, early morning, they got up, went to the reception, and the young man was still there. And they thanked him once more very profusely, and the old man took out the visiting card and gave the young man and told, "This is my card. If ever you come to New York, don't forget to visit me." And the young man thanked the old man. "Yes, I will do that," not realizing that he will ever go to New York. It was a faraway place from where his town was situated. But it so happened that after a few weeks, this young man's boss told that it's time to go to New York for an official work. "Okay, you need to do this and that. Would you please visit New York?" And the young man was happy for this trip. And so, though he didn't know anyone in New York, he set out to New York. But when he reached there, he was really overwhelmed by the city and the busyness of that city. He didn't know anyone, and suddenly he remembered the card that this old man had given him, and he remembered the words, "If you are ever in New York, please visit me." So he pulled out his wallet and took out the card, and there was the address. So he took a taxi and told the taxi driver to take him to this place. It sounded like a hotel situation. Maybe the old man also worked in a hotel. All right, so he was curious, and lo and behold, yes, it was a hotel that this man, the driver, took him to. All right, and so at the reception there, the young man showed the name of the person he wanted to visit, and the receptionist was very surprised. "You want to visit him? Yeah, are you sure?" "Yes, I want to visit him. It's just a friendly visit." "All right, so I will take you to his office." And the young man wondered, "Oh, he has an office?" And in a few moments, this young man was ushered into a very large office, very posh. And there the label at the door was so large with the name of this man, the old man. And he was really the manager of this big hotel. The young man couldn't believe, and as he was ushered into the office, the old man was seated there, and he recognized the young man and told him, "Please come in." And they had a very friendly conversation, and pretty soon, not only he realized that this old man was the manager of this hotel, but this man wanted him to come and work in this hotel. The old man was really the manager of this hotel called Astoria, one of the famous hotel chains in the world. And of course, to cut this story short, the young man was employed there and he prospered in his work, and pretty soon he became the assistant manager, and after the death of this old man, he became the manager of this hotel. Well, this is the story. Well, if you look at the specifics of the story, you can see, okay, maybe you can title it as the young man, right? The young man and the old man, right? Of course, it was a couple, but the old man was the other main character. The story of the young man and the old man. This seemed to be the specifics. Okay, and what generalization can we make? Maybe you can say kindness pays. Maybe that's one. Kindness pays. Yes, surely. Kindness pays. All right. Or what you give returns. All right. Throw the bread on water, as the Bible says, and it will return after some time. Okay, any of those generalization. For now, shall we say kindness pays? All right, so we can tell the students, yes, this story shows us that kindness always comes back sometime or other. So we should be kind to others. Well, but abstracting requires that we go one step more. So what do we do now? We ask students, do you know of any such stories, short ones, where we see kindness really pays? Well, maybe in the Bible. Let's look at the Bible. We always want to integrate faith and learning in all our classes, and abstracting is a wonderful opportunity for that. All right, so maybe students will think for a while. All right, and of course you can use any of the structures, turn to your neighbor and discuss what you're thinking of, and maybe some of them may come up with stories such as Elisha and the hospitable woman, who gave a room for Elisha to stay in her house. She and her husband were able to build an extra room. All right, maybe the Good Samaritan, okay, he was kind, but though we don't know kindness was paid back to him, he was kind. That's okay, surely something that would have been paid for him. Maybe there are other examples from their own life, the student's own life, that's more powerful, that they can relate to very briefly. All right, so maybe for now we can say Elisha and the hospitable lady. All right, okay, all right, because this lady was kind, and she in turn got the blessing of having a child, though she didn't have a child for a long time. All right, and so the generalization of kindness pays remains in their mind in a strong way when you give an opportunity to continue thinking about the lesson of the story. I think you are excited about abstracting now, and whenever you get a chance, do go and extend your story to another specifics, and you will see wonderful things happening in your class, and also you'll see your students understanding the concept and applying the lesson of the story in their own lives. All the best.